In this video, I'll be showing you how I made a local RAG AI system that saves my client hours of work per day. I'll show you what you need for this RAG AI system and how it works. So what's the point of this RAG AI system? I built this system for my client that works with legal tender and ensures that his clients get the project and the funding for the project that they apply to. And that involves filling out extensive and massive forms that require precise data about the company and why they are the best for that specific project. And when you have massive amounts of PDFs that are each from 100 to 250 pages each, things get really time consuming when you have to sift through each and every PDF about the company to get to that specific information that you need for that section of the form. So the client asked me if I have any recommendations on what the best solution would be using AI or any other tools to help him with these time-consuming tasks. And that's where AI RAG systems come into play. RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, is an AI architecture that improves a model's response by combining retrieval steps with text generation. Instead of relying on what the model has learned through the data training, RAG first searches an external knowledge source like a database, document collections, or a vector store, and it retrieves relevant data and then uses that content as context, generating the final answer. Think of it like giving AI a reference library instead of relying on solely what it has learned through its training. The RAG consists of knowledge base, retrieval system, and text generation. And I built this workflow in n8n because I use it the most and it has the best capabilities for creating a RAG agent, in my opinion. This system is built to handle PDF documents, basic text documents, and Excel spreadsheets to pull out data and store it in a vector database. This system works in a way where it looks at a local file. It activates on a specific file change, so when a new document is added, pulls out the data, goes over each item that it retrieved, reads the file, then it looks at it. If it's a document, a PDF, a text document, or an Excel spreadsheet, goes to its respective extraction point, where it then extracts all the data from the PDF document and chunks it up and also adds the page numbering. Then it goes to the vector store. We are using a Qdrant vector store. And then we look at the data and embed it into the vector store. When the document is fully embedded and stored in the vector database, we can then use it with the whole RAG system, which is the whole point of this, where you prompt the AI with a question or a specific need out of the document. It then looks at your document store in the vector database, looks at which data is most relevant for that question or task, pulls it out, and then based on the retrieved data, creates a response, and it gives you back the response through either a chat window, or you can build an external UI for your systems, which I haven't currently implemented. A normal database consists of rows and columns, or in some cases, it's a document that consists of JSON. But a vector store consists of a grid, which is basically a 3D cube, where each data stored has its own coordinates that go on a vector store. Which if I, let's say, store about a AI company, it goes here. If I have a construction company, it would go here. Or a biotech company would go somewhere here. And all the data that would be nearest to, let's say, an AI company would go around the AI company. When the AI goes and retrieves the data, it knows where to look and where the most similar data is. And it doesn't have to search through the whole database. It has its specific point where it pulls out the data. For the PDF extraction and chunking, I did need to write some custom code for chunking, and so it includes specific metadata in the chunks values, the document name and the page number. My client can reference a specific document or a specific page of a document to retrieve it, so it doesn't retrieve irrelevant data that would maybe appear in another company's document. And the bigger problem I had with this system was the actual setting up of the whole system, because this was my first time doing that. And first I had problems with Docker Desktop, because I had to find a GitHub library where everything is already set up. So I took the AI starter kit, where it comes preset with images for Quadrant, Llama, N8N. So I didn't have to connect everything myself, but I ran it through the terminal, downloaded everything, and then set it up. But the second problem was with the PDF extraction node that N8N provides. The problem was on the version that I was trying to make this work had a bug, and this node didn't work. So I spent 2 hours on figuring out why it doesn't work. I thought it was a problem with my system or the way the document is structured. But in the end, I figured out I had the wrong version of N8N. So I downgraded to 1.97.1, which was the last version that supports this node and where it works. And this system is a bit complicated, but for a normal business that doesn't have these massive amounts of data. My client has 70 gigabytes of PDFs and documents that he wants to store and sift through. So it had to be a little bit more complex, but for a simple solution, this system is a complete overkill. So if you have a custom chatbot or a training system for new hires, this would be more than enough to use and to implement into your business. And when implemented correctly, this system saves you hours upon hours of work inside your business, either with training new hires, answering customer support tickets, or in my case, filling out massive amounts of data and forms to ensure that your clients get the project that they need. My system still needs a lot of optimization because it's still in the testing phase. My client is still testing and writing his wishes on how this system should work, and it will gradually get better and better. And as AI gets better and better, this system will work faster and a lot smarter. In the future, I'm hoping this would be something that a lot of companies use, because it would help them minimize time-consuming tasks that would be easily fixed with a system like this. So a lot more saved time, a lot more work done, and a lot of inefficiencies gone from the company's operations. And I hope you at least now know what a RAG system is, how it works, and you get any ideas how you would implement it yourself or for other businesses if you provide AI automations as a solution. So drop any questions down in the comments if you have any questions about the system, how it works, what was the integration process like, and I'll gladly answer or make a follow-up video that would explain a lot more, or things that I haven't thought of to explain because I did this in myself, and maybe you have some specific questions about this or about business in general that I could help you with or advise you on. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.